Today I want to bring you a story from the trenches. I want to talk about the Citadel Hotel in Halifax. That's a property that was opened first in 1963, several hundred rooms, a bit of a landmark in the local community. This is a hotel where many big events have been celebrated for people in Halifax. And the company that owned the hotel at the time, Silver Birch Hotel and Resort, had decided to renovate the hotel. It was long overdue for renovations, and we were looking at what is the best way to do this. Eventually, in 2011, we reached the conclusion that it's actually not possible to renovate. It's cost prohibitive to renovate the hotel, and the best way forward is a shutdown, a tear down, and a complete rebuild on the site. So that was a hard decision to make, and it had difficult implications, including everybody at the hotel losing their job permanently, at the very least during the closure, which was going to take about 2 years to completely redevelop the site. So the easy way out there would have been to show up one day and tell our people, guess what, we're closing, we're done, here's your envelope and thank you very much. But that's not what we chose to do. We informed people of the decision 10 months ahead of the actual closing date. So that was difficult because at the point we didn't have all the information we needed, but we wanted to make sure people knew that this was coming. And then together we navigated 10 months of transparent communication. Whenever a milestone in the project was reached, we would communicate it. Whenever things were getting more defined in terms of what was going to happen, when we would communicate. And most importantly, we stuck around with our people, asking them what they needed, speaking with them, not to them. We made room for emotions. Some of our folks there had been working there for over 20 years. So it was a big loss. So I ended up sitting in a lot of difficult conversation with a lot of emotions and a lot of tears. And we stuck it out. We made our way through it. And at the end, here's what happened. At first, about 8 weeks before closing date, it was time for the annual survey that we conducted in the organization, and 90% of employees participated in the survey. So we're talking about folks in 8 weeks from now, they're losing their job. That's it, end of story. 90% of the people responded to the survey, and the engagement levels went up. We were over 80%. So we're talking about folks that are losing their job here. And so the other thing that happened is the level of customer service went up during this last period. Why am I sharing this story and why now? The economy has been in an induced coma for several weeks now, and we're getting to the stage where we need to figure out how to reopen. And the thing is, I know that many organizations will have to take a hard look at what is going on, where things are at, and what they can and cannot do, and how they move forward and stay sustainable through COVID-19, and what is the future direction. So I have two messages from the hard-learned lesson from what we went through at the Citadel in Halifax. Is one, when you make your plans, your business plan, what's happening with and for your people, that needs to be part in that initial discussions, in those planning discussions. Don't do a retrofit of your people dimension after the business decisions have been made. That's a disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. And two, how you show up as a leader has the potential to define your future. And this is how people are going to decide if they're staying connected to your purpose and to your organizations in the long run, and if they're going to give their best and if they're going to support you through the next phase. So if you want to find out more about how to do this, you can visit my blog. I'm going to write a couple of posts. The first one will be focused on the pragmatic aspect of making those decisions. The second one will be around leadership and how we show up. So you can visit my blog. You can also visit my website, Thrive 360, to find out about how I can support you as you navigate this transition.